Throw a touchdown pass, they'll cheer you on. Caught shoplifting $32.72 worth of crab legs, leaves you wondering, what's going on? When you wish upon a shooting star here at Walt Disney World, dreams come true. So roll out the red carpet. Thanks to a kind stranger, Kia wound up with bus fare. Still unsure of where to spend the night. Florida State needed a fantastic finish, and they got it. Jameis Winston to Kelvin Benjamin right here in this end zone. Well, Gene, I can't let you go with giving us a little taste of what we might hear on the air. Give me something. Because, I mean, we got a few days to go.
Winston rolls right, he throws, it's caught, Kelvin Benjamin, touchdown FSU.
Gets a tattoo machine.
I was just going to ask you that.
Didn't know those existed.
I mean, this is an odd gift. You learn things in sports, folks.
All week here at Daytona, veteran drivers have said you got to be fast with your car, but also make smart decisions. Florida State freshman quarterback Jameis Winston is not charged in a sexual battery case, according to State Attorney Willie Meggs. The case is closed, and there are two pitchers who are sporting mustaches saying that success is all because of the stash.
That wraps it up. You stay classy, Tallahassee.
This is the best sportscast I've ever had. It's all about the stash. Mother Nature, say it ain't so. Tonight's game with Minnesota against Florida State rained out. Welcome to sports. I'm Jason Hurst. Florida State stepping out of conference, taking on Minnesota. So they'll have to play two tomorrow. Doubleheader, that's right. Starting at 2, then followed up with a game approximately at 6 o'clock. Now, if you look at the historical numbers, Noles have won 17 of the 18 meetings against the Golden Gophers, including a perfect 12-0 home record against Minnesota. And they will play 2, as I mentioned. Game 1 starts at 2 o'clock. Game 2 starts about 45 minutes following that completion of Game 1, but no earlier than 6 p.m. Both games, 9 innings. All right, mark your calendars. FSU is added Central Florida. Both teams had an open date in their schedule. Matinee game, 1 o'clock from Dick Hauser. That is Tuesday, May 13th. TCC, watch those Eagles soar. Last week, TCC baseball was but left for dead. The postseason was a pipe dream. No way they get in, right? Needed to win 3 games and had to have help. Well, Eagles did just that. Won a play-in game, now are ready for the state tournament with momentum on their side.
Our backs were to the wall, and these guys just picked it up. And the way we swung the bats at the end was so incredible and so fun to watch. It was great.
This last little stretch, I feel like we just put everything back together that we had in the beginning of the year and just bring it together and playing as one again.
So TCC plays next Friday at 4 from Lakeland against State College of Florida, Manatee, Sarasota. All right, North Florida Christian has won 3 state championships. This year's seniors did it as freshmen, but not feeling pressure to win bookend titles. In fact, they are loose. I've nicknamed them the Fun Bunch. Proof is in the pudding. I was setting up my camera, and wouldn't you know, Coach Posey doused Matthew Rainey with an ice bath. Antics didn't stop there. Video bombed, that's right, during my interview with Jared Barnes. This team, they are certainly loose and having a lot of fun. I was always told baseball is a kid's game. I guess it is. All right, Rain has pushed back a pair of Class 7A first-round playoff games to tomorrow. Both Charles and Lincoln have been waiting to play since Wednesday. Now, Charles hosts Crestview at 4, Lincoln at Niceville, 1 o'clock Central Time. All right, Blue 18, Blue 18, hut. That's right, spring also means football. Florida High, one of many local teams kicking off spring practice this week. Florida High made quite a run last fall, made it all the way to the Class 4A state semifinals. That experience has this year's squad excited to have another big year. Noles have plenty of athletes to make this season fun to watch.
We're going to start doing a lot of things with our athletes. We have a bunch of athletes on offense, so we're just going to start getting them the ball on the outside, and we're going to be a real fast team, and we're going to do up-tempo this year. Be audibling, like, on my own, like a lot of calls and stuff like that, so we can get going faster.
I'm really excited about this team because we've been playing together ever since middle school, and we're going close since middle school and everything, so we know each other pretty well.
And Robbie Ginepri advances to the singles semifinals of the Tallahassee Tennis Challenger. Another win for the one-time 15th best singles player in the world. He will earn a bid to the French Open. Ginepri says so far it's been an up and down tournament for him, especially because of the rain. All right, we finish things off with your fish and game report. Peak times 5:40 a.m., 5:40 p.m. And hey, quick congrats to the FSU sand volleyball team. They advanced to their 3rd straight Final Four. Face Hawaii tomorrow, 11 a.m. from Gulf Shores, Alabama. Our local teams are getting it done.
Getting it done. Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Jason.
You don't get anywhere until you start from the bottom. And so that's where I feel like I started from the bottom.
Godby's Kia Andrews is now at Coffeyville Junior College in Kansas on a track scholarship. Her journey has been anything but a simple lap around the track. Originally from Massachusetts, Kia, along with her 2 brothers and mother, were bouncing around from place to place. They wound up in Tallahassee. Once in town, Kia made a decision that changed her life.
School was coming up and I needed some clothes for school, and I had no job, no way of getting them. So every teenager makes some mistakes and do something crazy. And so I went to the closest store, which was Burlington Coat Factory, and I went and I tried to steal some clothes, which I was not good at, and I got caught immediately.
Her mom didn't bail her out of jail, instead made her spend the night.
It was horrible because I was scared out of my mind, and I just remember crying the whole time and couldn't eat, and I was cold, I couldn't sleep, and I just wanted to go home.
The next morning, her mother came and got her, but Kia wasn't ready for what was next. She was told her mom and brothers were headed to North Carolina, and she wasn't welcome. Just like that, Kia was homeless.
I was just heartbroken, but I felt like I was just paying, like, receiving consequences for what I did. I'm sorry, it's hurt me to talk about.
It's okay. By strange luck, she wound up at the homeless shelter. But that's when things took a turn for the worse.
This guy that was living at the shelter, he had recently said he saw a girl get gang raped by the shelter, and they were talking about targeting me next. And so he actually cried and poured his heart out to Pastor Glenn and Miss Beth, and so they took me in immediately that day.
Thanks to her guardian angels, Kia now called the Chelsea house home. She could finally feel safe and get a good night's rest.
The Good Samaritan in the Bible tells us that's what we're supposed to do. When somebody has been beaten down by life and they're kind of left by the roadside of life, they're like in the ditch, we're supposed to reach out and help.
So I feel like God sent them to rescue me, and they're like my second parents. So.
Where would you be without them?
Back at the shelter, doing something I would regret right now.
More angels continued to look over Kia. Her track coach called everyone he knew, determined to find a college that would offer Kia a scholarship.
I'm 40 years old. I've been coaching for 20 years, and I've never had a story like this come across my lap. It breaks my heart. You know, I grew up with mother and father. I have 3 siblings. I have 2 children now, and it hurts me to think that a child that young would just be wandering the streets, has nowhere to go.
With everything that Kia has faced, she could have easily ran from her troubles. She's doing the complete opposite.
No, more like running to the future. I just feel like I'm headed towards great things. Like the future is bright and I'm running to it. And I'm trying to run as fast as I can to get there.
Eric Compton is 32 years old. Sports a healthy golf swing. You can scroll down the list of 132 competitors at the True South Classic.
See it?
You may glance right by his name. Understandable. He has yet to win on the PGA Tour, but his story is remarkable.
I've been blessed to have a second chance at life and have a transplant.
Compton is on his 3rd heart.
The gift of life and organ donation and transplant really works.
2 transplants before the age of 28.
Having a second heart transplant is quite unusual, as only a minority of people qualify for a second heart transplant.
Compton has to be very careful with his practice time. Stay hydrated and rest between events.
To be able to chase a dream and be able to get paid doing it, that's obviously very, very special. So, and then for me to be knowing that I'm here on kind of borrowed time, that's special. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think my success has come because I've been driven to succeed at this level and then also in life. So, you know, you got to try to live as normal as you can.
one of our goals in the realm of organ transplantation is that nobody dies waiting. And so, you know, this is another great opportunity for us to promote the message that donation really does save lives.